What if the real world became an anime? It's a fascinating concept to imagine, and one that has captured the imagination of many anime fans. From the colorful characters to the dramatic storylines, anime has a unique style that sets it apart from other forms of entertainment. But what would it look like if this style was applied to the real world? This is Fantasy World. We try to imagine everything about your fantasy. The visual aspect of an anime is one of the defining characteristics that sets it apart from other forms of entertainment. If the real world were to become an anime, the first thing that would change would be the overall color palette. The world would become more vibrant and colorful, with every hue and shade intensified to create a bright and energetic atmosphere. This would be particularly noticeable in natural settings, where the sky would be a brilliant shade of blue, and the grass and trees would be lush and green, almost glowing in the sunlight. But it's not just the natural world that would be transformed. Buildings and man-made structures would also be given a fantastical makeover. They would be embellished with intricate designs and decorations, such as ornate patterns, carved woodwork, and stained glass windows, all contributing to a sense of otherworldly beauty. Even everyday objects like cars and cell phones would be stylized and given a unique look, with sharp lines and futuristic designs that make them feel like they belong in an alternate reality. The overall visual style of anime is known for its expressive and dynamic qualities, with characters' movements exaggerated to give a sense of power and energy. If the real world were to become an anime, people's movements and actions would take on a similar expressive quality. Even the most mundane actions, like walking or picking up a cup of coffee, would become more exaggerated and dramatic, with a sense of energy and excitement that would be hard to ignore. The characters in anime are often some of the most memorable and beloved aspects of the genre. They are known for their distinctive designs, exaggerated features, and larger-than-life personalities. If the real world were to become an anime, we would have to consider how people's appearances and personalities would change to fit this new world. One of the most noticeable changes would be people's physical appearances. In anime, characters often have exaggerated features, such as large eyes, unusual hair colors, and striking facial expressions. If the real world became an anime, we could expect to see people with bright pink or blue hair, unique clothing styles, and even physical features such as cat ears or tails. These design elements would add to the overall fantastical feel of the world, making it seem more like a dream than reality. The personalities of people would also change in an anime world. Characters in anime are often highly expressive and dramatic, with emotions that are larger than life. They tend to be more outgoing and less inhibited, which makes them stand out from the crowd. If the real world were to become an anime, we could expect to see people acting in a similar fashion. They might be more open and expressive, showing their emotions without restraint, and taking actions that might seem bold or reckless. This would make for a world filled with unique and unforgettable personalities, each with their own quirks and traits that would make them stand out. Another aspect of anime characters is the way they interact with each other. Characters in anime often have strong bonds with their friends, family, and romantic partners, and these relationships are often a driving force behind the story. If the real world were to become an anime, we could expect to see people forming intense bonds and relationships with each other, based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. These relationships would be an essential part of the world, creating a sense of community and shared purpose that would drive the story forward. But it's not just the visuals that would change. The storylines of our everyday lives would become more dramatic and over the top. Ordinary events, like going to the grocery store or walking the dog, would be transformed into epic adventures with high stakes and intense emotions. Everyday problems, like getting stuck in traffic or dealing with a difficult boss, would become larger-than-life struggles that require the characters to summon all their strength and courage to overcome. In addition to the physical danger of attempting to replicate anime feats in real life, there is also the potential for a distorted sense of reality to affect people's mental and emotional well-being. In anime, characters often have exaggerated emotions and reactions, which can be entertaining to watch, but could be harmful if people begin to expect that kind of behavior from others in real life. For example, if someone were to become upset over a minor inconvenience and expect others to react with the same level of intensity as an anime character, it could lead to misunderstandings and damaged relationships. Similarly, if someone were to base their understanding of social interactions and relationships on anime, it could lead to unrealistic expectations and disappointment in real life. Another potential issue is that the exaggerated and often fantastical nature of anime could lead to people becoming disconnected from real-world issues and challenges. If people become too focused on the fantastical and imaginative elements of anime, they may begin to neglect the more mundane but important aspects of daily life, such as work, relationships, and personal development. This could lead to a lack of motivation and productivity, as well as social isolation and other negative outcomes. Furthermore, the emphasis on physical appearance in anime could contribute to unrealistic and unhealthy beauty standards. The trend of creating unrealistic body proportions and features could potentially lead to body image issues and contribute to the prevalence of eating disorders. On the other hand, the world becoming an anime could also inspire people to be more creative and imaginative. It could lead to new forms of art and entertainment that blur the lines between reality and fiction. People might start to think outside the box and push the limits of what is possible, leading to new inventions and discoveries that change the world for the better. In conclusion, imagining the real world as an anime is a fascinating concept that has captured the imagination of many people. From the colorful visuals to the exaggerated characters and over-the-top storylines, it's a world that would be both entertaining and awe-inspiring. However, it's important to remember that anime is a form of fiction, and that attempting to replicate it in real life could have serious consequences. Nonetheless, the idea of a world filled with anime-like adventures and colorful characters is one that will continue to capture our imagination for years to come.